Hey everyone, welcome to Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. So today I'm by myself. It's the Christmas holiday, and all my boys are off doing things with their in-laws, and so I thought I just might share this Tobacco Tasters episode with you on my own. Now today we are trying Sutliff's Cringle Flake version 2023. And surprisingly enough, this one is still available on many different websites. Usually this sells out pretty quick, but you can still get some at some different online places and probably at your brick and mortars as well. So this one has Virginias, specifically red Virginias from 2013. It has that 2003 St. James Perique in it that all the other Cringle Flakes has in it, and then this one also has a little different twist to it with the addition of some stoved Catarini. If you'll look back at some of the past episodes, we did an episode on Catarini to kind of give you an idea of what that profile would be like, and so you can compare it to the addition of other things that Sutliff has put out with Catarini in it, specifically like the Pipe Force line and the Birds of a Feather line. They both have the Catarini in it. Of course, the Birds of the Feather does not have stoved Catarini. It has Perique Catarini in it, and the Pipe Force does have the stoved Catarini in it. Okay, so this one is a Virginia Perique with some Oriental in it. There's no flavorings added. The strength on this is medium, and the taste on this is medium as well. We're going to talk about this pretty quickly to get through this and then kind of share some other things with you as well that you might be able to expect coming up. So let's talk about the tin note on this one. First of all, I want to jump to the moisture because noticeably this blend is much drier than the other Cringle Flakes that I've tasted from Sutliff. This one is really super dry, and it is very easy to break apart with the flake that it comes in. But when you do break it apart, the chunks of the tobacco, the leaf, is much larger than some of the other blends that they've put out. So this has a little bit slower burning rate, and it also kind of changes the flavor profile just a little bit of this. Okay, so in the tin note, with the addition of that Catarini, I'm getting a whole lot of woody, light vinegary, but kind of a fermented grassiness as well. Kind of has an umami kind of scent to it, musky. Not a whole lot of sweetness going on in there compared to some of the other blends that they've put out, some of the other Cringle Flakes that they've put out. Now, there's a big difference between this Cringle Flake and the last 2 years that I know of, maybe even the last 3 years that I know of, that they have used in this one reds from 2013, where in the past they've used reds from 2000. So that aging factor may be a little bit different, which will also give us a little bit different taste and a little bit different sweetness as well. Very earthy and very grassy, kind of those natural kind of scents to it. All right, let's talk about the flavor on this one. It's got a really nice smokiness to it. Since I got this, it came out at the beginning of December, and I've smoked this quite a bit since then. I've probably smoked it at least 30 times. The Cringle Flake is one of my favorite blends of the year. And this one is significantly different. If you're trying to compare this to your last year's Cringle Flake, which was absolutely delicious, and years before that, you're not going to get the same flavor profile at all. This one Has a little bit of a sweetness. It's got a toasty breadiness to it. There's some spice from the Perique, which the Perique is the same Perique that has been used um, in past Kringle Flakes. And I understand that this possibly may be the last of it. So next year's Kringle Flake won't have this same Perique in it. There's a pepperiness in this. There's a dark fruit flavor in the background, but very woody, very earthy. Some molasses tastes in there. There's a floralness, there's some creaminess, and a little bit of a tart citrus. Now, I've tried this in lots of different pipes. Meerschaums, corn cobs, long pipes, short pipes, big bowls, little bowls, you name it, to find the really perfect pipe to smoke this in. And I have found that my Canadians, which I have really been turned on to Canadians recently, is probably the best tasting for this blend, simply because of the added length of the wood to kind of help cool it down and let those flavors kind of meld together. This particular Canadian is my Brentagani Canadian, which is it's got a tall kind of a chimney stack on the front of it. And I bought this from Michele Brentagani, and pipe carver in Verona, Italy. You need to check his work out. He's on Instagram, Brentagani Pipes. You need to check him out. But it really tones down the sharpness of this blend and really helps that dryness, because that dryness of this particular flake kind of made it hot and a little bit zesty on the tongue. And the length of this pipe helps that. The flavors are much better in this long pipe. I really enjoy it in this. The room note on this one is it's tolerable. It's pretty earthy and smoky. You don't get a whole lot of any of the sweetnesses coming, or the molasses or anything like that coming from the Virginias. Trying to tell you, what does the added Catarini add to this? To me, it adds a little bit of a herbalness and a vegetal kind of a taste, and maybe helps the sweetness just a little bit because of its stoving. But it is significantly different than other Kringle Flakes from years past. Like I said, this is a really dry tobacco. My suggestion on how to smoke this is probably take your time with this. Don't freight train it like I tend to do. You want to take your time with this one, smoke it, sip it, and let those flavors really kind of hit your palate, and without the chance of it burning your tongue. The nicotine content on this to me is not very strong. I get a little bit of a nicotine hit on this, but nothing significant. I mean, it's Christmas morning right now, and I haven't had any breakfast or anything like that, and I'm smoking it, and it feels pretty decent. Not too much, but just right. Good way to start your day off. A couple of other things about this. This is the fifth installment of Kringle Flake. I believe the first one is 2019. And like I said, this is a totally different blend. This is not your Kringle Flake that you've had before. The reds are different, and the addition of the Catarini makes it quite a interesting blend, different from anything that you've had before. Now, like I said, this comes in a 1.5 ounce tin. They're about $14.55 per tin, and they're still available. There's still some. I checked Smoking Pipes last night, and they still had some available. So you can still get this if you want to stock up on this and see what it does in a couple of years from now, because I think the aging potential on this one is going to be pretty good. What kind of whiskey would go with this pipe? That's a good question. I tend to like to pair things together that are similar in nature rather than total opposites. And so for something like this, I'm going to say I'd probably pair this with a scotch. Maybe like a Highland Park 12-year-old, or a Dewar's. If you like a blended scotch, maybe a Dewar's. I think those would go well with this one. There's a little bit of that earthiness. I wouldn't put a really heavy peaty scotch with this one, simply because I feel like that's going to take over the profile, rather than the tobacco. And you want to kind of get the taste of this tobacco. So at first, I really wasn't sure about this tobacco. Now that I'm smoking it in a longer pipe, I do like it. It is completely different than the other Kringle Flakes. I don't think you want to try to compare it to those others. Take it as it is. Inform your opinion based on what this tobacco is trying to do, rather than in years past. Yeah, this is good. I like this. I like it in this long Canadian. Okay, so that's what my thoughts are on this Kringle Flake 2023 edition. You should at least get one tin and try it, so that you can kind of see how the stove Catarini reacts to that red Virginia Perique blend, and see how it changes it. A couple of things. First of all, next week I will be going to, at the end of next week, I'll be going to Boston to celebrate my wife and I's anniversary, and we'll be stopping at LJ Peretti's. So I will be giving you a tour of the LJ Peretti tobacco shop, along with some of their pipes that they make there, and all their tobaccos, how they blend it and everything. And so our next tobacco tasters, which will be at the end of January, will be an LJ Peretti blend. And I would like for you guys to kind of send me some suggestions as to which LJ Peretti blend you want me to pick up, so that we can do that at the end of the month. I will be leaving on the 5th of January, probably touring that shop on the 6th of January. So send me your suggestions before then, and then I'll announce to you then what LJ Peretti blend we're going to do for that month. All right, guys. Well, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you have a wonderful holiday. Our Christmas was fantastic. Had all my kids and all the grandkids here. There was a big house, 15 people running around creating chaos, and it was nice to just have all those cheerful sounds in the house again. So I hope you were able to share some time with your loved ones, and have a great day on Christmas. All right, so for me, it's off to the Dearleys to spend a couple of days out there and relax, and hopefully harvest a deer that I can bring the meat home to my family. Until next time, guys, don't forget, make all your piping moments count. We'll see you again. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday. Bye-bye.